Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Ladies and gentlemen is what I'm trying to say. Or Dota people, everybody interested in this game. Hello, thanks for watching. Epi here, and we are still casting Star Series, so Starladder Season 3. Up here it says Star Series, so whatever you like to call it, you can call it. And it's going to be Mouz against Fnatic Raid Call. Mouz with a bunch of stand-ins, as the future of the team is, as of yet, kind of unknown. The Dota 2 scene is kind of shaky after the big $1 million tournament over in Seattle. So let's hope for the best. KuroKy, Black, Fata, Alex, and Bambo. So 3 stand-ins, 2 former Mouz players, or still Mouz players, are now competing against FnaticRC, who are still struggling to get their foot into the competitive scene. They are not at the moment a team that many other top-tier teams really take seriously. I don't know why that is, to be honest, because as far as I know, they produced some amazing results back in Heroes of Newerth, but again, that's a game I never played, so perhaps it is not as complex or as, I don't know, perhaps it's just too different from Dota 2 is what I'm trying to say, and the competitive scene is already too established, and FnaticRC is perhaps just struggling and finding an adequate play style. And I mean, perhaps with them it's maybe some sort of a motivational issue, or they're not practicing enough, or whatever the reasons may be. Let's hope that they will get their crap together and will begin to produce results and kind of bring honor to their name. Now, they are also playing with a stand-in I'm currently seeing. Fitzgay is the stand-in's name. Otherwise, we have Schneckels, No-Tail, Era, and Trixie. Usual squad with an unusual TA ban out of KuroKy in the first ban phase. So now the first pick will go to FnaticRC, and I'm interested to see what they would like to pick up. I mean, we have Lycan taken up, but there's still a bunch of powerful heroes left in the pool, such as that Darkseer. Perhaps KuroKy's purposefully leaving that one in the pool. I don't know why. They did ban the TA. I mean, what many teams do once in a while is simply have a look at the past played games, and if they see that they've been drafting a TA a crapload in their scrims, then of course it's a reasonable ban. But other than that, it totally looks like a Darkseer ban so far, and FnaticRC is hesitating with their first pick. So maybe they're thinking the same thing, that KuroKy's kind of baiting out the Darkseer, and after going 20 seconds into their bonus time, they say, fine, even if it's just a bait or whatever the reason may be that he's still in the pool, we're going to go and pick him up. Which leaves heroes such as Nature's Prophet in the pool for KuroKy. We have Rubik left as well. Perhaps it was also a point in time where Fnatic was deciding whether or not to go for Darkseer or Rubik, but 99% I think KuroKy's going to pick up at least Rubik right now. Perhaps with Nature's Prophet, but perhaps also with a support like a Venomancer, or what we see a bunch of times is those teamfight ultimates such as a Tidehunter in the first pick phase, not so uncommon as of late. And then of course there's always a Broodmother pick, which is also possible, although not a frequent pickup as of late. Although yesterday we saw a game with a Broodmother, and it was the pick that won the game for who was it? I think it was Kharkiv team. It was Artstyle's new team against his former squad, or his former sponsor in Dara. So if you guys haven't seen that match, then check out my YouTube channel. I uploaded it this morning, so it's there for your viewing pleasure. Go ahead and have a look. And sure enough, Rubik pickup for Mouz in conjunction with Morphling. Of course, Morphling, I think the most picked carry hero ever since the International 2, perhaps even before that, but Morphling was like that #1 pickup, and I really like these response picks from Fnatic. I really like this. The drafting is definitely something that they don't seem to be lagging behind at this point. They go for Invoker, always a good pickup, even though he's kind of phased out of the competitive scene as of late. But the Lone Druid is an amazing pickup against Morphling. A Lone Druid versus Morphling is that age-old battle ever since the Dota 1 days, especially when it comes to big Chinese teams going up against each other. And with IG's victory at the International 2, and I think out of the top 8 teams at the International, 5 of them were Chinese. I mean, this kind of shows that which country, which nationality right now is reigning supreme in the Dota 2 world. In these Juggernaut games, it's usually a Lone Druid against a Morphling. Those two hard carries, the never-ending battle of heroes. both heroes are able to take out the other one. Obviously, Lone Druid has a 12 item slot, so if it goes super late, he's really strong, and Morphling is simply Morphling. Now, the things that they have going for them is that Darkseer has this really amazing ultimate. They have a very strong laner in him as well, and Invoker is also quite the adept short lane solo or safe lane solo, or more conventionally, the mid solo hero. So if you go for the Exort Quas build on Invoker, you will have very strong last hitting power due to that bonus damage, and with Quas Wex you will have the crowd control with your EMP Tornado. It's always a matter of preference how you decide to scale your Invoker. Personally, I go Quas Wex, but that is because I'm not able to micro that amazingly. That's why I don't go for Quas Exort. And yeah, most people in the competitive scene have gone for Exort Quas build on Invoker ever since Exort received a buff and Quas Wex received a nerf in that you're not able to burn mana with EMP while they are tornadoed up into the air. Now I realize that I don't have the in-game sound. Let's put this one more time. Hey guys, sorry, I'm enabled the in-game sound now as well. Thanks Maria for pointing this out. Sorry about that. Here we are. I was just talking about Invoker and that you nowadays see the Exort build preferred over the Quas Wex in maybe, let's say, 7 out of 10 cases or 8 out of 10 cases, and or 8 out of 10 cases, mainly because of that buff and the nerf. Okay, third pick for Mouse Sports is Enigma, which is a nice pickup in my opinion for several reasons. One is that they have the Rubik and not the enemy, and Enigma's Black Hole is one of the most easy to steal ultimates because it's channeling and you don't have the ability to kind of Ravage and then immediately go for an Anchor Smash, for example, Tidehunter, which makes it very tough to steal the Ravage. Enigma's Black Hole, easy to be stolen, but then again, if you've been following the competitive scene for a while, then this is no news to you. And second ban phase now over, Enchantress and Tidehunter taken out. Again, we see Chen making through... no, Chen got taken out in the first ban phase, my apologies. Now, yesterday we saw Chen make it all the way through to the second ban phase, but Kuroki more conventionally banning out the Chen in the first ban phase, and then Enchantress in the second ban phase, and Tidehunter as his last ban. So he does take out a big team fight hero, as well as this support role. Tidehunter can either be farming a lane, or it can also be played as a support, and his teamfight ultimate really helps on that regard. But I think the Venomancer pickup for FnaticRC is a really nice support pickup for one, and also the slow gives some much needed utility because they actually, to be honest, they are lacking stuns. I notice right now they have the Entangle from the bear, they have a Vacuum, but no big stun per se. They have Cold Snap, Vacuum, Entangle, and that is about it. Then they have slows or haste, the Surge from Darkseer, but not much beyond that. So now the Venomancer pickup, I'm interested to see what FnaticRC is going to pick up last, but judging from the laning, they could go for jungler, but the question is, who can they even use for jungling? Enigma got picked up by Mouz. They don't have a Chen, they don't have an Enchantress as an option. I think the last pick for Fnatic, they will need some time to think about that. Kuroki is already down to 5 seconds on his reserve time, and he went for a Shadow Shaman pickup, so this looks pretty aggressive, to be honest, because Shadow Shaman is able to push very fast with his wards. He has 2 disables and a nuke, so this makes him an amazing initiative hero or counter-initiative hero, and Enigma, Rubik, and Morphling all kind of hit their peak in the mid-game. Morphling is the only one that can really kind of continue gaining in effectiveness, but I mean, he already hits a very strong peak in comparison to other heroes in the early game to the mid-game. Now, Faceless Void is the last pick for Fnatic, and this is kind of risky, but might just work out. The Chronosphere is going to be able to cancel out Enigma's Black Hole even under the effect of a BKB, so there's one of the plus sides, although a Chronosphere is always that type of double-edged sword, because a misplaced Chrono can really deal some damage to your own team. But all in all, it will come down to teamfight execution, and this last pick, Broodmother, is really strong from Kuroki in my opinion, because if you look at the 4 heroes that are not Brood, so I'm talking about Shadow Shaman, Enigma, Rubik, and Morphling, these 4 heroes are able to stand their own. They can run around as 4 and just do their own thing. And Brood will obviously just do what a Brood does, stay on lane and punish the enemy for not committing one or two heroes to that Brood. Now, FnaticRC have that Darkseer pick going for them. Darkseer, by the way, being played by Trixie, also former Haunt player. So the Iron Shell is going to be amazing to just keep that lane pushed back. The only thing that Darkseer can hope for right now is that he is lucky and gets paired up with the Broodmother on lane right away, so he doesn't have to rotate the lanes. Judging from the item build, we already see that he will be just making sure he will always have mana to spam his Iron Shell. Now, I went over Trixie. He's playing Darkseer. We have Schneckels playing Invoker in mid. First level in Quas for the extra HP regen. No-Tail will be playing Lone Druid. Venomance is played by Fitzke. And Era, of course, is playing Faceless Void with a new face. This is kind of... I've never seen this before. Kind of cool. Got fed some tangos. Bambo, of course, playing Broodmother for Mouse Sports. Fata, or Fata, in the English pronunciation. Comes from Fatality. Former captain of We Has Asian, currently looking for a team, is playing Rubik for the solo mid. An amazing player. Really hoping the best for him in his career. Kuroki playing Enigma. Oh, this should be awesome. And toward the top lane, we have Black, of course, playing the hard carry Morphling, and Alex playing Shadow Shaman. Judging by the fact that Alex is playing Shadow Shaman, it will be a support Shadow Shaman. So good luck to both teams. Let's hope we're gonna have a good game. And judging by the laning, we might see some rotation from Darkseer. Or okay, we do have the Sentry Wards on Venomance already, so we might not even see any rotation. It's not going to be necessarily Darkseer against Brood, Venomancer, and Faceless Void should be able to hold that lane on their own as well. Toward the middle lane, Invoker against Rubik. To be honest, I would give the middle lane to Rubik for one, because he's just a strong hero. He got the better block right now, and it's Fata playing him. Although the lane's going to be pushed right now, so for some reason they managed to get it pushed. Maybe there was no creep deny on the Radiant side, so I'm not sure how that happened, but at any rate, the middle lane is pushing right now into the Radiant Tier 1 tower. Fatality already 2 for 1, 1 for 1 on Invoker. He goes for the standard item build. What this enables you to do is that you get some decent last hitting potential, and you also are able to go for fast phase boots. So this is actually an item build, a starting item build on an Invoker started by Ferrari 430 back in the Dota 1 days. And it's just amazing because you only need one set of tangos. With your Quas, you will have enough HP regen and, well, the bonus attack damage from... Oh, on top lane, actually Alex might get caught out. The surge right now on the bear. The Iron Shell does some really, really sick damage. Kuroki's coming in, stunning up the bear, so now this enables it for Alex to get himself out of there. Now Kuroki's the one in trouble of the Iron Shell, but it is going to run out really soon. So these two guys are safe. Now Alex even using his Shackle to try and kill the bear, but it does get resummed by No-Tail. By the way, in the last update, in the last version, this will not be possible anymore. Once these, in case you guys didn't know, a new Dota 1 version was released. Oh, Bambo, now you gotta go. Get rid of that Sentry Ward. Good job. Era gets 3 or 4 hits in, though. So that was difficult. Now Trixie on top, and this might actually be first blood. Nuke is ready for Black, and it does go down. So although I didn't see the build up to it, it's an important first blood for Morphling on the top lane, even though it was actually Alex getting the last hit on that. But nonetheless, first blood goes to Mouse Sports. This will help them with a great deal. Now, I'm not even sure what I was saying. Ah, yes. Yes, Dota 1 update, exactly. It's not going to be... Once these changes from the Dota 1... new Dota 1 version will get implemented into Dota 2. What Lone Druid just did will become impossible. We already had one slight nerf to the bear, which was that you're not able to return the bear right next to your main hero if he has received hero-based damage within the last 3 seconds. But this change will also be applied to the resummoning of the bear. So once your bear gets damaged, you're not able to resummon it for 3 seconds until that damage is over, or has been taken. So this will not be possible, but that way he just denied experience and gold to Shadow Shaman on the top lane in their own jungle. Now looking at the last hits and denies, 17 for both Faceless Void and Invoker, followed by 4 Mouse Sports heroes. How does this look on the gold graph? It looks like this, mainly because of Enigma. He goes into the jungle and just kind of creates this extra income out of the neutrals. So we already see some good goal advantage going toward the dire side. Nothing all too spectacular, though. We see experience also in favor of Mouzeboard so far due to that first blood, and Bambo is now trying to disrupt this pulling and the neutral farming from Venomancer. This is one thing that support heroes should really try to perfect. Is if you're supporting your hard carry on the bottom lane and he has an item like a Poor Man Shield, which means he's able to kind of tank heroes underneath his own tier 1 tower, just stack up creeps and pull. That way you will get some gold going, that way you will get some experience going, and that way you can make sure that your hard carry hero on the safe lane will get all the gold and all the experience of the lane creeps for himself. So good going and pulling by Venomancer. Too bad for him that Brute Mother is right there, invisible in her web, trying to disrupt the farm. The D rune picked up by Invoker. His phase boots are already up, so this will make it pretty tough for Fader to stand against him. He does have a bottle ready, but we see Invoker now abusing the fact that he has such an amazing damage output so far physically. Fader has to just stand back, has his boots delivered to him. So usually what you can do, if you know you're really strong in lane against an enemy and you have the line standing this way, then that's perfect. Usually you are on the Radiant side, usually you're standing somewhere around here, but if you have such an advantage, stand here. That way, the enemy hero is not able to get closer or not come close because he will just get harassed by you and your right click. This is one thing I don't see so often is denying the enemy any type of access to the creep lane if you have total control over what's going on in the laning phase. This way now Fader is in big trouble. He has to use his mana to last it. Now there's an exchange happening. Telekinesis into tower range, but he has phase boots. He's got some good regen. So, you see, he can just stand there. Kuroki's now coming with his Eidolons. He's not going to be able to get into range for the stun. Quad's Wex built by Invoker, by the way, so this is more movement speed as well. It's going to be this crowd control type of team fight where you go for the EMP Tornado. The only downside of that is that by now you have to be able to kind of time your EMP Tornado based on the level of Quads and Wex. The lift and charge time of EMP have to kind of go together very well. And now Fader is doing a pretty good job of staying out of range and out of harm's way from Invoker. If Invoker invests too much time and resources into just harassing down Fader, he's going to miss a bunch of creep kills and last hits. I know this from personal experience a bunch of, if you focus too much on harassing the enemy hero out of lane, then all of a sudden you find yourself with like 3 last hits a minute, even though you should have had like 6. And now Fader is getting cold snapped up and just harassed back. He will have to use his bottle charge. Now the rune is going to spawn in 2 seconds. The bear is checking whether or not it's going to be on bottom. Fader's going to turn right around once he sees there's nothing here. The illusion rune is on top. We see Bambo blocking the creep wave. It's going to interrupt every creep that's coming in, and that way put some immense pressure on the bottom tier 1. So Bambo is a very adept and experienced Brute Mother player. One hero that I really don't understand how it's played. And now actually Venomancer has to be very careful. The harassment of the spider is so powerful. Bambo can just go in, go for the nuke, and get a kill just like that. Easy peasy. Era, with his Poor Man's Shield, is able to tank it a little bit better. And now the Chronosphere used as well, but he hit his own tower. It's not able to continue attacking. This is going to be close. And he still gets the kill on Bambo. So nicely played by Era, but even though his Chrono was misplaced a slight amount there, could have killed him sooner, but yes, good play by Bambo, good response kill by Faceless Void. The kill score now is 2-1, the gold graph is now dipping right back up, so does the experience, all brought to you by the Faceless Void kill. And soon I think Kuroki is going to jump out of this forest and go for a quick push. He just hit level 6, he does have a soul ring, so if Darkseer comes out too far, then he will be in big trouble. Now one thing that I do have to say is that we talked about this yesterday. I talked about the importance of this ward right here. Had Mouzeboards this ward, then their timing would have been a lot easier. Now Kuroki and Alex got spotted out by Darkseer, which forces him to hang back right there, and he's down to 400 HP. A few seconds before that he was hanging out around here. Perhaps they would have been able to go for a quick Malefice and then harass, but they might have to settle for just pushing. They are doing a single pull, so usually what you want to do is you want to... Fader might be in trouble. He's fine, he's fine. No Sunstrike. And now Trixie gets done up by Kuroki. There's that ward I was talking about. They do get it. Is he going to go for the black hole hit? And he does go for it. But Black is going to have to go for this max range waveform. And he does do so now. Trixie does get killed. Nice gang. Good play by Kuroki. Now they're going to push. And why do they have so much pushing power right now? Is because they went for a single camp creep pull. Usually you stack it and you have a double camp, and that way you deny one whole wave, but don't just blindly stack and pull. If you want to push, you just do a single pull, and that way you'll have a double wave moving into that tier 1 tower. Bambo exchanging hits with Era, but he's got 4 levels on backtrack, so it's really frustrating to kind of throw some, like a finger of death onto Faceless Void with a line, and it just gets backtracked. Oh well. What I like to see with the Spirit Bear is that they just send it into the creep waves with the Ion Shell, and that way it will kind of negate the damage. And already now, Lone Druid forced to resummon his bear once more. He's only sitting at 14 last hits, so I'm not really sure what he was doing the whole game. Perhaps he was jungling. Black's last hits are amazing. 54, almost 50 on Invoker, and almost 50 on Faceless Void too. Bambo having a relatively rough time, just hitting above 3 last hits a minute, but he did get 1 kill on Invoker, on Venomancer. But he also did die once. He Ring of Health picked up by Faceless Void, so usually we see a fast Battle Fury on Void just to be able to kind of farm quickly and get items up once the game hits the later stages. Oh, Bambo. This is actually a really cool strategy by Bambo with the Broodmother. Just hang around here, just outside the tower range in your invisibility, and use your Spiderlings to kind of harass the enemy down. And you see this reaction he's forcing out. It's one hero on bottom lane, just one little Broodmother, and they have 3 heroes on bottom right now because they can't cope with this. One hero on bot gets them tier 1 tower down to half HP, and 3 heroes are down here, all splitting the experience up. And yeah, effectively they are wasting a good bunch of time. And yes, Mouz's just committing 1 hero to it. Now a Sentry Ward drops, and now Bambo knows what's up. That auto attack was perhaps not the smartest thing to do for No Tail. Now the pings are going out, so they realize that there must be some sort of Sentry Ward around, or some sort of true sight. I mean, Bambo knew that there was true sight around. Of course, Fnatic knows that they have a Sentry Ward there. Now Shadow Shaman also on level 8. Let's have a look at the hero levels. 8888, 776655. So the least, I mean, this Lone Druid No Tail, he's pretty low on levels. It's not so strong, and he doesn't have any damage block. These spiders are going to be able to just kill him by themselves. He resummons his bear. The spiders are diving. He's blocking a bit with the bear, and he's in huge trouble. He's in big trouble. 20 last creeps, and he's going to drop. This is what happens when you underestimate the Broodmother, and even now Alex and Fada down at the bottom get a kill on Venomancer as well. The ward's a little bit misplaced. Could perhaps, I don't know, I wasn't there, but placing it right around here would have made it possible for the wards to also pressure the tower a bit, but just a little bit of nagging going on from the commentator who doesn't know how difficult it is to play. And Mouzsports will take this tier 1 tower right now. I don't think they're going to be able to fight this. Kuroki almost has his Black Hole. He won't have to use it for Invoker, but he might have to use it for Era. They do want to dive this. Fada's going in. Bambo is here as well. And Era knows he's in huge trouble. The net goes down. He doesn't have a Time Walk. Cold Snap goes out. Cold Snap stolen by Fada. And now he goes and TP himself away and gets out safely. But now FnaticRC will lose a tier 1 tower on bottom, all the while Morphling is still farming on top lane. Item is flying out toward Morphling, and it is a Ghost Scepter. So he's going to go for fast EB. The tier 1 tower on bottom drops, and everything so far going the way of Mouzsports. Lone Druid absolutely underfarmed at this stage. He's got 19 last hits, 0 for 1. He's on level 5, 11 minutes into the game. They have a huge laning problem. You know, considering the way they drafted, you would expect that they have a plan to make sure that every hero kind of gets some experience up. But if you look at the hero levels, yeah, I still have them up. It's pretty big. It's pretty big. One thing we see sometimes with the one thing I like on a Faceless Void, for example, is Hand of Midas to get that item advantage up. And the level advantage now too. Alex might get caught out right now. What am I trying to go for here? Let's go for a goal per minute. But now Kuroki is here. Trixie does go in with the haze. Alex eats some great amount of damage. He's going to go down. And now Kuroki is in big trouble. He used that buckler. He does use the buckler. And now he's running away. Schneckel's chasing after him. There's that movement speed. Invoker, crazy chasing potential with those phase boots. And Kuroki might just have a turn off to go for the black hole. He's probably going to juke and then come right back out for the black hole. Goes for the stun. No, it is the Spirit Bear who is doing the primary chasing, so he doesn't want to waste his ulti for that. But Bambo and Fada are here. Trixie might be in trouble. Vacuum right back out. But Fada did steal the Surge, and Trixie is able to get himself out safely due to mana shortage on Brood. Now the middle tier 1 is also down. Towers is 2 for 1. Top and bot down for the Radiant. Middle is down for the Dire. Kuroki drawing some awesome things on the minimap, and Black is farming his butt off on top still. So he's got the most gold per minute so far. Let's have a look at the net worth. Good stuff. Good stuff. Now, experience graph, again in favor of Mouzsports. The kill score does support that assumption, and the gold is also 4K in favor of Mouzsports. Mouz has some amazing pushing potential. They can either split push or they can go all 5 in mid, but at the moment they are completely fine just doing this. We're almost 14 minutes into the game. Bambo is now abusing all this free space he has in between these two towers, and also abusing the fact that the rest of his teammates will be pressuring all other parts of the map, and this will give him the freedom in return to farm out things like Orchid or a BKB. Alex now used his Mass Serpent wards. They get farmed out, drops the tower to 382 HP, and I think with the next wave they might either team fight or they might rotate. Now we see KuroKy drawing something on the map. Alex busy warding, doing his best he can as a support. Venomous are coming down here as well. I hear Tornado going out. Fada dodged it by the looks of it, and now they're going to turn this around onto Invoker. He's so low in HP, his movement speed might not help, but he does have a Force Staff and uses it to go onto the low ground. But he stole the Tornado. Amazing play by Fada. Almost drops Invoker, but an even better Chronosphere. Now KuroKy might just wait for the Black Hole. He does have a mech up, and he does use it. 3 heroes for Mouz Sports. They can fight a turnaround. Trixie's here now too. KuroKy goes for the Black Hole, catches 3, but it does get stopped by the vacuum, and KuroKy is probably going to drop right now. He gets out a stun now too, but his 2 teammates did not help him out. Rubik was low on mana, and Alex did have 300 up, but he decided not to go in and try to help him out. Probably just decided that he would have to die. On the top lane, in the meantime, Black dropped a tier 2 tower, and Brute is pressuring the bottom as well. So a good fight for Fnatic, but the split push is working tremendously for Mouz Sports so far, and I think it's only a matter of time until FnaticRC are going to crumble under the pressure that KuroKy is organizing for them. Orchestrating. Important with Brute Mother is also to micro your little spiderlings to get some additional farming going. Just right click some neutral creep camp if it's a big number, and yeah, just get that gold that way. One thing that Ferrari 430 does from IG on his Brute is Hanomitis. It's a standard item on Brute Mother, and we saw games in which Brute Mother didn't see a single creep for most part of, like, for the first 10 to 15 minutes, and at the end of the game he was the most farmed hero on the map. I don't know how he did it, but he did. So there's the crazy Chinese people for you. They are just able to farm like madmen. And now Bambo on bottom lane might get attacked by Trixie. The vacuum is a pretty powerful spell against the spiderlings, but Bambo really doesn't care. He does have almost endless mana supply due to the Soul Ring. He can use it every cooldown because of his additional... Oh, middle lane right now. FnaticRC's Invoker might be in trouble. He does go for EMP. No, yeah, misinvoke. He invoked the Tornado, but he did want to go for his Ghost Walk. But Rubik does get the last hit. DD run on him, and the tier 1 tower drops as well. Bottom lane now, Trixie, being chased by Bambo, will surge himself into safety, but in come 2 heroes from our Fnatic, and immediately Bambo gets pulled back in, and he is revealed off by the Dust of Appearance. No moves made by Mouz Sports to help him out. He's completely on his own. Surge now used by Trixie. He's got mana for another vacuum, but the cooldown is not really working out for him, and Bambo is going to survive this. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Faceless Void drops to a nice gang by Mouz Sports by the looks of it. This time around, the wards are attacking the tower. So, Fnatic are getting pressure on all sides. As you can see, only 2 outer towers are left for FnaticRC at the moment, while we still have 5 up for Mouz Sports. This translates into this goal advantage that you're seeing right now, and if we look at the items, we'll probably see something similar. This will have to wait because now KuroKy and Alex are being chased. Tornado flies through, EMP is charging up, KuroKy on the run out, but the bear's chasing with the Iron Shell on top. Not able to attack, he will just have to chase. Iron Shell is still up a great deal, and yes, Alex does have to go for the Hex. KuroKy has to go for his mech as well to survive this. But yes, as I said, they do survive this, and this is a good thing for them. They can just continue pressuring right now. Trixie juked into the woods. And there's this issue I talked about during the draft. We have 4 heroes grouped up by Mouz Sports. They are pressuring a tower, while Bambo is able to do it all by himself. He's already sitting at 3.6k gold. I think once he hits 3.9, he will buy a BKB up in one go. He doesn't really care about the silence stick. He will just need the magic immunity to stand in a teamfight and deal the damage. And now we see this split push coming to... Look at the minimap, guys. This is a split push. Black already has his Ethereal Blade up. Let me put up the item screen for you guys once more. You have to check the items quickly, guys, because I have to watch out for action. Now the glyph goes out, and Mouz Sports are probably going to claim... Yes, I don't think that Fnatic is going to force a fight right here. They're probably going to try and go for the deny. Not able to do so. Black secures himself the last hits, catapults him up to 950 gold. And we might see a rotation from Mouz Sports right now to the bottom, securing themselves a tier 2 on bottom. Knowing Kuroki, I think he's definitely going to call this. And then they will continue farming up all this stuff and then go for a quick Roshan. And then I think they might finish this. Trixie on Darkseer TPs himself out just in time. Bambo preparing the push. And FnaticRC really seems like they don't know what hit them. I mean, these heroes are still hanging out in the middle lane, not really reacting in any way whatsoever. They could have perhaps grouped up and went for a gank to the top lane on Morphling. And you know, the supports they need, is there a dust on the supports? Big question. Smoke rather. No smoke of deceit on the supports. I think the supports should have bought a smoke of deceit in before that push happened, or just carry one for situations like that. After you lose a tier 2 tower and you know that they're splitting up onto different lanes, go for a smoke and gank that one hero that is by himself. Either be it Brood or just now Black on the top lane. They know they have to do something about this, because Mouz Sports going to finish this game within 10 minutes or even 5 if they don't do anything about it. Now return tornado from Fada off the high ground, but he's getting focused by the tower, and what Mouz wants to do is not fight. What they want to do is get this tier 2 tower. But Trixie is here. He's getting nuked down though, and he's going to get focused. He gets his ultimate out, but does drop to Morphling's right click. The EB almost working in favor of him because the magic damage was not enough. Now Alex goes for the Hex. Kuroki has the black hole. He tries to get himself into position. He does have a mech, but no positioning skill, and he is eating a crap load of damage. Has to go for the mech just for himself, and he might survive this. He's gonna no. He of course he doesn't. Now Era goes for Chronosphere. Now focusing down Alex. Rasta very low on HP. He does have a nuke though. He goes for the wards. Now the counter Chronosphere by Fada. He does trap Alex into, but not Era. Oh, Alex barely surviving this RC. Or rather, Invoker is on the run out, so is No-Tail, but he drops the Bambo. He's been in the middle of it the whole time, and he did buy an Orchid Malevolence instead of that BKB, and a big teamfight won for Mouz Sports. Alex surviving this is probably the biggest surprise. He was focused so much in this teamfight. Kuroki did go down, but we saw a good fight put up, especially by Broodmother, in the area of the screen that I wasn't able to cover during this teamfight. He picked off a bunch of heroes and was able to clean up right after. Also worth noting, a great Chronosphere steal by Fada secured them a teamfight 1 as well as a tier 2 tower. So we're looking at the experience graph. It is still the same old story. The gold graph is now in a ridiculous sum of gold. And yes, now they will go for Roshan with his map control. This should be no problem whatsoever. Once Kuroki comes back, yes, he's already on his way. He does have a black hole ready. Power Treads, Mech, Soul Ring, standard stuff on Enigma. He would have loved to have a Blink Dagger in that engagement, which would have made it possible for him to not get into harm's way this close, but instead hang around in the fog somewhere around here, or even around here, and then just wait for the right point in time to go in and black hole a few of the heroes, and opening the door of mass rape for his team. So Black is still doing his thing, 2-0 and 4, farming like a madman, carrying like a boss. Bottom lane Trixie going for his hood, but severely underfarmed heroes on Fnatic side apart from this Darkseer. We see Faces Void 21 minutes into the game. He still doesn't have his first core item up. Beyond his 4-staff, Invoker also relatively poor. And that's the story of the game, guys. If we look at the items of Mouz Sports, it is obvious that they will be looking to finish the game within the next 5 minutes. And actually, Trixie is going to run right into Bambo, who will gladly take the last hit for the kill. And yes, I think within the next 5 to 10 minutes, this game will be certainly over. Kuroki is running in like a crazy person. Eats the Gale. He's going to turn off for the black hole right now. 4-staff in. But he only catches one hero. Immediate cold snap in return from Invoker, and Kuroki is going to take a fall. He goes for the mech, but it's not enough. So Darkseer's down for FnaticRC. He dropped on bottom. Kuroki drops in mid right now, and this might spell the end to this mid lane push for Mouz Sports. They were probably hoping that this engagement would go a lot different than it actually went. Kuroki was relying on that 4-staff from Rubik to get himself into a nice position for a black hole, but a nice split by Fnatic made sure that he only caught, I think, the lone druid, and that opened the doors for Invoker to go for the cold snap and disable that channeling ultimate from the big guy. But Bambo is getting big. He will most likely go for a BKB after this. That's a standard item progression for Broodmother. And yes, I hate to be that guy, but I think this game is not to be won for FnaticRC, to be honest. Black has his Manta style up, 170 last hits. Let's have a look at the gold per minute again. 574 gold per minute, followed by Broodmother, and then comes Faceless Void. It's is looking really bad, especially the no tail. He's got tranquil boots. He deals next to no damage whatsoever. His bear, phase boots, orb of venom. So this really isn't anything to be proud of, and sorry for missing this kill, guys. Top lane, Arrow might get caught out. Force staff and into the Hex. That's what I like to see. Fada even stopping the escape route from Faceless Void, but his backtrack working wonders. He even goes for the ultimate. Kuroki's here though. This is Era's death for sure. Oh, he did go for the time walk, and Fada gets the last hit. Good backtracking by Faceless Void, but 2 heroes down for Fnatic, 1 down for Mouz. Rubik already dropped, and now Black is going in, trying to do his best he can to get the fight going, but he will have much of his mana removed, not even enough for the Manta split. He might think about suiciding right now because of his Aegis. We see the stun going on to Trixie. He's going to take a fall to the right click from Morphling. They're fighting underneath the Darkseer wall, and now he's morphing into strength. He's going to get brought back right now. In my opinion, a mistaken morphing to strength because he has a second life. He needs as much agility as he can once he comes back, and there you go. He's already morphing back into agility, and all the while Bambo pressuring the bottom. So still the split push story from earlier on. Now 3 heroes committed to the bottom lane. Do they have anything to reveal him off? Yes, there is a dust, but Bambo is so much movement speed in the web. And even going for Yasha, not even going for the GG, for the BKB. I said GG because No Tail is calling it already. Amazing play by Mouse with the stand-ins. Now, I hope that Kuroki and Alex and all the guys from Germany, the former Übelst gaming team, perhaps find a spot for Fada and get like some sort of all-star Germany team going. Because Fada certainly has what it takes. Many German players have what it takes, mainly the players from Übelst Gaming and even the players from We Has Asian. So I hope that there's something happening in the German scene really soon. Obviously Black also a German, but he plays with so many international teams. Thinking about going to China too for his Dota career, to see if he can make anything happen for himself in Asia. But well, we'll just have to wait and see how things develop in the Dota 2 scene in general. This was Starladder Season 3, Fnatic against Mouse. My name's Epi. Please check out epicommentary.com, and I hope you enjoyed the game. 25 minutes into the game, Mouse won it due to an amazing split push strategy, outlaning, and overall outplaying in the team fights. Again, it was a pleasure having you guys, and if you do want to support me, please like me on Facebook, support me by following me on Twitter, subscribing to my YouTube, and also hitting follow on Owned, so you guys are informed about the next time I go live for a stream with Starladder Season 3. Again, guys, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you guys soon.